Should the balance and turning engine be buffed?
No!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a brand new CTR video. And as you can hear, I'm not sick anymore. Hooray! Well, at least I don't sound sick. I still feel sick, but hey, sounding sick, not anymore. So this has been a debated issue in the Crash Team Racing atmosphere. The question simply being boiled down to a question of balance. No, not the engine balance, but I also mean the engine. Okay. What I mean is the balance of the game in its entirety. Ever since the game had went online, two classes raised to the top of overall times and coming in first place: acceleration and speed. This is not an insult towards balance and turning. This is just cold, hard facts. I'm also not saying you can't beat speed or acceleration with balance or turning. I'm saying in the overall grand scheme of things, more people were playing speed and acceleration. Then we got the engine swaps implemented and the drift engine was brought in as a brand new engine. But in today's online sphere, the main three classes you see online is speed, acceleration, and drift, with the majority of players playing speed. So what about turning and balanced? Should they be rebalanced? And my answer is, Now, this is where I normally make my argument, back it up with facts and thought, and then present an answer as clear as possible in a video. But today, I'm unsure. The reason being is that there are two schools of thought. So I'm going to explore both arguments and both thoughts, and then we can peacefully discuss in the comment section what you guys think. So let's change the question to perhaps make it a bit more clear. Let's ask, should the classes be seen as progression or as equally plausible classes to use in a race? People think that the game is not balanced or has little variety when most people are playing online and are playing the exact same engine over and over again. And if you play balance and turning as a main engine and can beat the people who use speed, then good on you. But there is a reason why almost all the world records are held by speed or acceleration users, along with the majority of racers using them. So with this information and with an at most objective point of view as possible, the other classes are overall better than balanced and turning. So there is another interesting issue. There was a great post made by a user on Reddit called Nessa Magic, where they show the actual stats of the engines and what they provide in terms of actual stats. As you can see, speed and acceleration can be seen as being exactly or being very close to their overall stats that they show in game. But the turning and all-round classes are definitely a bit off from their targeted stats that they state in the game. More all-round than turning, however. So maybe their stats should be adjusted to better fit their on-screen projected stats. The whole point to these changes are supposed to bring more variety to online play and not have one engine fit most tracks. A lot of people who are more comfortable with better turning feel that the only way to win is to play other classes. If they could have their way, the win rate would be overall as close to equal across all classes. So now let's move on to the other school of thought and argument. Should the engines be balanced? Or maybe they are meant to be seen as steps and progression. Take a look at the original names of the driving styles before the engine swaps were implemented: beginner, intermediate, and advanced, basically signaling that the classes start off easier, and as the racing style begins to get more difficult to use, the faster your overall speed is, essentially allowing you to learn and grow as a racer. You start off slow and being able to get around obstacles and get around tracks fairly easily. Training wheels, if you may. Then you go faster while giving up some turning power. Then once you master that, you go to the class that allows the highest potential of speed, but in order to turn with this class, you basically need to know how to power slide, which again is an essential mechanic to the game. Each class going forward requires more mechanics and specific tech moves like U-turning to be able to maintain speed while making sharp and tight corners. The reason there being a lack of variety online is because the game has a die-hard fan base that plays literally every day to make sure they stay on top of their game and be the best. These people are going to use the engine that allows them the highest potential of speed, as they know the tracks and shortcuts like the back of their hand, and they are willing to learn the nitty-gritty mechanics of the game to make sure they stay ahead of the competition. Like I said, like U-turning or air braking. On top of that, I do have a little story to tell. While I visited Beanox and was at the launch party of CTR, I was told a few things by the developers that were definitely interesting. One of the facts was that when they were comparing the speeds of the original game and of Nitro Fueled, they tried their absolute best to make sure that the speeds matched 1-to-1 to be as close as possible to the original CTR. So even though the stats had lied as to how each driving style handles, it also lied in the original as well. With this having its roots in the original game, should the mechanics of something core to the original be changed? I'm not too sure, to be honest. For me personally, I see each engine as a tool for different skill sets. I find that certain engines for me work better than others on certain tracks and allow me to do better overall as a personal racer. For example, I normally default to a speed engine, but I prefer the drift engine on certain tracks like Dragon Mines and Dingo Canyon. I sometimes use acceleration, but I rarely use balance, and I never use turning. So what do you think? Should the balance and turning classes get fixed, or should they be seen as a progressive system? And which class is your favorite? Comment below and let me know. A huge thank you to all those who support the channel through Patreon and being a sponsor on the channel. If you'd like to help it out, check out the links in the description below, where you can buy some CGE merch or become a Patreon. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming and nostalgic content. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.